All right, everybody. Welcome to a very special Nofa Extras quarantine edition. We are all
Quarantine.
sheltered in place as good, upstanding citizens. So we're coming to you live from our phones, computers, and any other devices that are still alive and kicking. Goodness. Got Mr. Eddie here with me today, as well as
Hey,
Chris, Felix, and
Hello.
Kevin. I am
what's
Gagne.
up?
I will be driving the Guinevere today, and we're just going to talk a little bit about Onward, Pixar's newest release that we just got blessed with on Disney Plus. So, if you didn't get a chance to see it in theaters for the 2 weeks, I think it had 3 weeks maybe tops that.
Maybe.
Theaters were shut down as we know it. We'll dive into what we thought about the film, what our scores were, where does this fall on Pixar? Has anyone got any like this snuck into their top five? And I'll throw it out there first, guys. Let's go with who your favorite character was, or should we talk about what the film entails first?
I think we can give a brief description of what it is. It's just a kid who's trying to see his father who has passed away before he was old enough to really have a connection with him, to even really see him. And his dad leaves him instructions on how to cast a spell, because it's like a fantasy world, and something goes haywire. And they go to try to retrieve another item to them, bring him back for a day.
And if you've seen the preview, you know that there's something that happens is they only get to bring the bottom half of him back, and so there's some good comedic moments I think that stem off of that. And we've got some good voice acting by Chris Pratt and Tom. Oh my God, I almost said Hiddleston, Holland. So we got Star-Lord and Spider-Man on a quest to find the top half of their dad. So thoughts, characters. Who wants to dive in?
Sure, I'll start. I liked it. It was fun. It's just to jump ahead. I guess I wouldn't say it definitely didn't crack my top five. Though it's still enjoyable. It has all that Disney heart you come to expect from these kinds of movies, and it was a fun little adventure. I guess I really have nothing bad to say, but in the end, I feel like I don't know if I'm gonna want to watch it again in anytime soon. It was just like a fun, simple little adventure. I guess as far as the story goes, I really love how the adventure is mostly them focusing on the relationship with the father and then wanting to see it again, but in the end it turns out to be the relationship between the siblings, and I really thought that was really awesome. It really shows a lot of heart, between the two characters, a lot of growth in the relationship. So I really love that aspect of it. I feel like it kind of just was a little bit slower in the beginning, but by the end I was really into it. Just overall, as far as quick impressions.
Definitely. The world building, like the world in itself, was pretty clever. You get that feel of what was that, Will Smith and other movie, Bright, but with a more comedic Pixar feel to it, but they really set the tone, and I love how they used basically the D&D as a D&D, but it's like their history. And so it was based on real things in their universe, and it made the movie really witty and funny. So that basically it worked. It what was the Manticore's tavern called? I think the Corey's, and how they turned it into like a Chili's restaurant, and with the map as the kids crayon map. That was pretty funny, pretty good.
I have to agree. It was slow at first, Felix. I think that I had high expectations. I love fantasy, that realm, and so I think the start was really good. I loved that they explained how magic kind of went away as people found it less and less necessary. But I wanted them to, I guess, dive into that a little bit more. I think that because it just quickly went to they're going on this adventure. And I think they try to keep it really, really like short and concise, that I felt like I wanted more and there wasn't a lot to it. So the brothers, you know, storyline was really good, and I liked how it ended, but it felt like there was something missing. So I'm kind of in that same boat. I don't know quite where it fits in my Pixar, but it's middling. It's not at the bottom. It's not, you know, your good dinosaur, and like it had a little more heart than that, but it's also not Toy Story 3 where like I was bawling and I still bawl at the end of that, you know, film, or The Incredibles, or it's not quite up there in that I don't know when I'm going to watch it again. You know, the more I think about the film, I think the more I want to go back and watch it and see if I missed anything, or maybe I wasn't in the right mind frame. I don't know, but it definitely felt like I was missing some stuff. Hard to explain.
I kind of wish I had seen theaters, just because lately my Disney Plus app has been really screwing the pooch. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but it keeps like the video will freeze and then the voices will keep going. And then when it is fixed, the subtitle, girlfriend has to have subtitles. So the subtitles are like ahead of the on in the film. So I'm just getting frustrated, kind of like how about the movie a little. But yeah, I think it was a good movie. Like I did tear up at the end. But like I remember the first time, like I think it would be hard for me to pick my favorite Pixar movie, because they're all like, a bad Pixar movie is better than most other people's movies in general, I think. But I remember watching The Incredibles the first time, and I was like, yes, this is what I want. Like, and it like took them forever to make part 2, fuckers. But I really like like I was like I don't know if it was because of Chris and Holland being leads. I expected just too much out of it. That kind of like messed with me the entire time. But like I like the beginning, even though maybe it was just like so like because they're going over their history of the so long. And then the kid's like the nerdy kid that I've been seeing my entire life. Like everyone in the world isn't a nerdy kid now. I don't know if that's what made it feel like it dragged on a little bit, but yeah, like once they start the road trip thing and they're doing that, like I started to be more invested.
Okay, you can see that. I could also see the frustration if your computer or your app is crashing in the middle of trying to watch something. Like it breaks it up. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge to watch movies at home. This is why I will always be a proponent of, you know, going to theaters. It's uninterrupted. You know, you put your phone on silent. You usually put it away, like the majority of us do. And sitting at home, you're tempted to grab the phone or see it go off, or, you know, get up to go to the bathroom or grab a snack, because it breaks up the focus of being there. I definitely could say I focused on this one, but it did feel like it was lacking something, and I can't put my finger on it. It was good. It wasn't great Pixar. Yeah, it wasn't that Incredibles feeling where the score was amazing and the storyline was fantastic, and the jokes were right on cue. Something was a little off, but we'll see.
Yeah, one thing that you were saying earlier is like that I agree with also is I wish there was like a little bit more world building as far as like the lore goes, because it does feel like it sort of sets up this cool idea where like magic was a thing that was prominent and now it's gone, and so now you got this more civilian like kind of culture, and like yeah, it just kind of feels like it briefly brushes over that and you don't really get too far into it. Like I would have liked it if it kind of does like, you know, build this world like Monsters Inc. or, you know, Incredibles or something like that, where you get to kind of play with stuff in the background and you kind of get to play with that magic and that fantasy element, like Fables, you know, the comics and all that, you know, where, you know, these characters, these species, these creatures are familiar, and, you know, play with them a little bit. And you didn't really get that other than this is the world that you're in and that's it. This is the adventure. You know, I wanted more of the world itself, I guess.
Okay. Maybe a sequel, or probably not, because Gross got demolished. Although they got Disney money, they can do whatever they want. So
they'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Disney's hurting.
So, you know, I'm sure they are. I mean, you got theme parks closed that pull in how much a day? I mean, I can only imagine. So, my petty gripe, and I'll ask you guys if you had any about this, was that I did not care for the Manicore, that character. And I love Octavia Spencer. Like, I'll watch anything she's in. For some reason, this character drove me nuts. Like, it was just like, here, be so over the top and just like yell and be frantic every time you're on screen. And it was just like every time I just was like, please don't let her be on the adventure. I didn't like that at all. I loved the mom, but I didn't like the Manicore.
I kind of agree because she didn't bother me too much, but like it started off kind of cool, like the idea of her being this crazy beast in the past, and then now she's this restaurant manager. I thought that was pretty hilarious. But then it kind of quickly becomes that trope where she's this over the top kind of character and there to be loud and just be super just an over the top kind of character on screen constantly with every moment that she has. So I can see that's where that got annoying. It didn't bother me super bad, but she was fine, I guess, in the end.
I mean, I guess they could have. I don't. I agree a little bit. The Manicore was a little bit over the top. They could have gone a little bit a different way with her, but with that said, the mom was great. Like, I like the mom, how the mom dynamic came into it, and she was just not like a throwaway character at the beginning, and they actually utilized her a bit. So that worked out in the end.
Listen, if I can ignore Jar Jar Binks, I can ignore the Manicore.
Side note to that, I just have started Clone Wars finally, and he's been in like 2 episodes, and I'm like, if they don't kill him soon, I'm going to shut this fucking show off. You should not be back here, Lucas. Stop.
That's hilarious.
All right, so am I the only one who had an official gripe with the movie?
It's a little one, but it's kind of spoilery.
Oh,
Spoiler
I
alert.
feel like,
it's out. It's on.
it's on Disney Plus. Everyone has it or has access.
Turn us off.
I know,
now.
like, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the story, but I really wish he got to meet his dad. I know it's like I'm looking at it like I'm looking at it as a dad, like, back to life to see him. Don't get me wrong, I'd be happy to see one if I could, but like, even if they didn't, like, I know the whole thing was like Luke's journey and he's the dad that he didn't have, but I'm selfish.
No, that's good. That's what that's what I'm looking for. I want to, I definitely felt that in seeing you. And you're like, well, yeah, but would it have hurt for him to still just get a chance to like actually have a conversation with his dad real quick? Like, no.
I like the effect that it had on you at the end,
right.
all the emotions that you feel, but in the end, like, well, that kind of sucks, dude. Like, after all, I'm gonna get it, like, not even a second, but it's still touching,
Yeah.
I mean, basically, it's like towards the end, it just made sense. He sacrifices that time because for his brother, because the whole time it's all about him, but now in the end, he learns to to give the time to his brother instead for himself. So I see how it worked. I wasn't too bothered by it.
Yeah, like I don't have a specific gripe, I guess, now that I think about it, but that's kind of where like I'm still sitting with the movie is like it was just good, enough, or it was just adequate. Like there was nothing really like that super stood out about it, It was just an entertaining, I guess almost paint by numbers kind of film in the end. Like I said, where it wasn't anything super extravagant or anything that stood out that this moment like really grabbed me, but it was just a fun, safe, I guess, movie.
It was a safe. There you go. It was a safe movie. It was.
It's a good family film. Like, you're not going to be mad that you sat there and watched it. It's like, I have nothing bad to say about it. It's just, in the end, it's not my favorite Pixar movie.
It followed the normal Pixar formula, basically, like how Marvel has their own formula.
Yeah.
I have to say if you're going to go favorite characters, and I know it wasn't really, I mean, it's character, I'll use character loosely, but the dragon at the end, I loved that he was built out of the school. I loved that the mascot face became his face, the painting on the buildings. I loved that the school bell was his roar. I mean,
his eyebrows, when his eyebrows
Yeah, yeah. That was the charm. Like that's where it felt like it was safe until like the last 10, 15 minutes where they turned the charm on like heavy and made you feel the feels. But up until that time, it was like, like the scene where, they're impersonating the mom's boyfriend, kind of cute, but, again, just nothing really like stood out until that very last scene where I felt like, okay, loved the dragon, loved, how the action built up and how he utilized everything his brother taught him. But it took a while to get there.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right. So it's not in anyone's top 5. Is it in your bottom 5?
Look at the list.
I know.
Bottom 5. Oh, that's such a hard.
I say it's middling for me. It's definitely not a bottom 5. It's definitely not top 5. I mean, I don't think anything's ever really for me going to touch Toy Story 3 or Incredibles or Bugs Life. What else is in my top 5 for this? Wall-E and Ratatouille. Those are my top 5. So,
Ratatouille.
Ooh,
I like Brave. Brave.
21 movies. So 21 movies Pixar has put out today. So what top? It's gonna make your top 10s or top 15s? No.
it's definitely not
I
my
don't know.
top 10. It may be in my top 15. It's the bottom, and I'm gonna get crucified for this. I was not a fan of Monsters Inc. I
bottom?
love Monsters University,
Oh,
but I
like
don't
Monsters
love
University
Monsters
better.
Inc. Thank you. Exactly. I know. But like, I'll put Cars 2 at the bottom. I'll put Good Dinosaur at the bottom. I'll put Brave. I've just went back and watched recently, and it's not at the bottom anymore. It was for a long time, but then I rewatched it. I was like, you know what? Actually, this was better than I remembered. Like, okay,
I like it because it's a better, like, it came out the same, like, near when Frozen came out, and I know they were pushing Frozen to be this thing where, Disney's finally pushing a strong female character, and I was like, not really. It's kind of the same thing, except it's her sister the whole time. And I was like, Brave is the one. Pixar, listen to Pixar. Art Jesus, Pixar.
Did you just call Pixar Art Jesus?
If Disney's God, then yes, Pixar is Jesus.
All right. You heard it here first, folks.
Don't email me and be like, Jesus is avatar for God. I don't need
Eddie does not like to be added. Don't add Eddie.
I really like, but I mean, even Brave. I mean, Brave would probably be top 10, but it wouldn't be top 5.
Okay.
Incredibles, Toy Story, Finding Dory, Finding Nemo. Like I love both Nemo and Dory. Like I did not expect Dory to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3, of course, and Wall. Like I can't even make a top 5. Like I'm like just name Pixar.
Pixar.
All right, we're gonna settle on middle of the road, which is appropriate because they're on a road trip. So scores. Like that.
I enjoyed that. Yes. I'd give it like a 7.5.
Yeah, that's kind of right where I was leaning. 7.5. Yeah, it's
almost great.
Yeah, it just needed a little bit more pop. That's the one thing that was kind of missing about it. It was good. It just didn't really, wow me in any sort of way. Top 15, I would say, probably not top 10. It's enjoyable though. Like you could watch this and have a good time, but it's just not my top 10.
7.5, same here. It's I mean, I actually I liked it more because of the brother aspect and I could relate to it, but that's mostly why I'm more biased to it. But yeah, that's why it would be a 7.5. Otherwise it'd be an 8.
I'm gonna break the mold of the 7.5s here. You guys are killing me. Everyone giving the same score. I'll go with an 8. I'm with you, Kevin. I hit a little closer to home. I was, the oldest of 4 boys, and we all grew up without our dads around, and so I got to be that for my brothers. And last 15 minutes they wrapped it up well, and gave me what I wanted at the end. It just, to Felix's point, took a long time to get to it. So it's middle of the road for Pixar for me, but still a good, like Eddie said, you know, it's still better than most movies that get put out because it's Pixar and our Jesus. Our Jesus, our Jesus.
Our Jesus.
Art Jesus. Pixar art Jesus. That is, I'm going to start that hashtag.
Quote me on it.
All right. Any last thoughts on our onward journey?
It's definitely worth the price of admission. I know you all have Disney Plus.
Like watching it at home.
Oh, so true. Oh, so true. Yeah.
It
Check it
was
out on
more
Disney
like
Plus.
a level 3.5 Thunderbolt. Was it Thunderbolt? Was that the spell? No, Fire Blast. Fireball.
It is a thunder spell, but it's like some weird name. Don't even try.
We'll get back to you on what the spell was. Yeah, so don't add us, please. You know, we don't have all the details, but that's our wrap on Onward. We'll be back around next week with, who knows, we might talk some Tiger King, maybe some Final Fantasy VII remake. Did I get that right? Might be crucified by the gamers. Cool.
No, you're good.
Got it.
You got
Awesome. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate everyone joining, and stay safe out there. Wash your hands.
Can that be the sign out forever now?
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.